Hello future people, welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and today we're unboxing another expansion for Don't Look Back called Death on the Line. So Don't Look Back is a game that I've touched on a couple of times at this point. There's a number of expansions available. I've only ordered a few this time, mainly because this is a game that I kind of really fell in love with. It's the only tabletop game from a hobby point that I've come across that's co-op. Everything else is war games and games that are all competitive, which is fine. But I really like the fact that this is doing something that board games have done really well for about a decade now. But nobody in our hobby space has done this that I'm aware of. Again, as I've said in the other videos, if you know of other games that are doing this, I'd really like to hear about them. Like, genuinely, I'd really like to hear what other people are doing in this space, if there's other people doing this in this space. But for now, let's head down. So, once again, we're getting it into one of these really cool looking VHS cases. Choo choo chop. So this is totally not Leatherface. It's definitely not Leatherface. I don't know what you're talking about. It looks nothing like Leatherface. The same art style as all of the rest of them. It looks very much like your old school VHS. So this is another one of the killer expansions. Bit of a blurb on here that kind of makes it sound a little bit like a movie. We're going to have a mini in this one and 2 scenarios. So this one's a little bit smaller than the other one we looked at. So, our first scenario is called Across the Tracks. So obviously we've got some sort of train running through the grounds here. Little bit here about talking about how to set the game up. Points of interest. Boxcar Willie's hat is the only point of interest in the plot. The hat cannot be traded or dropped. If the character holding Willie's hat falls victim, the game is over. Interesting. 12 turns. Okay, special rules. Willie's Wrath. The character that successfully investigated Willie's hat automatically becomes the target for Boxcar Willie. Awesome! So it's one of our favourite video game escort missions. Yay! No, it actually because it's a player, it actually should work out quite well still. Never-ending whistle. Characters gain a point of terror at the start of turns 10, 11, and 12. Obviously because the train has become a point of terror at this point. Never sated. Boxcar Willie is never removed from the table when a character falls victim. There's no lights. The objective. One character needs to successfully investigate the point of interest token to acquire Boxcar Willie's hat. That character must get back within 4 inches of the outer corner of the table, section A, by the end of turn 12. Interesting. So I guess you've found a point of evidence that this person exists, and you need to get out to hand it over to the police, I suppose, is essentially the story. Our other one is called The Last Stop. Survive it all. Oh, what was the inspiration for the previous one? Investigate and escape. So yeah, pretty much what I thought. So the setup of this one, this is the end of the train line essentially by the sound of it, and we come across a cabin, the cabin. No specific points of interest. We've only got 8 turns this time. This is a house of horror, so this obviously is where he lives. All the exterior doors and windows to the building are reinforced to keep the meat in. Breaking open an exterior door or window with the kick it in action is done with a -10 modifier. Abducted. Characters may not use their starting weapons or items in the plot. Gruesome implements. When characters search the area, all rolls for weapons are on the melee table. Never stated, so again, he's not removed from the game. Slow and steady. Boxcar Willie does not add the additional inches to his movement for the terror points on the character he targets with his MO, so he's slow and steady. Master of the Chainsaw, add +2 to the critical range on Boxcar Willie's attacks. The objective, at least one character has to make it out of the cabin and survive until the end of turn 8. And there you've got our themed killer. Oh, this one's going to be very difficult to build. I might have some trouble with this one. George, can you come over and help me build this one? I'm going to have trouble. Nice single piece mini. So, like I said earlier, this is definitely not Leatherface. It's definitely not. I don't know what you're talking about. He does feel a little bit different. I mean, you can see where the inspiration comes from, but he's definitely dressed differently, and it's not a full face mask. Though he might actually... Is that facial hair? He's got a bit of a beard too. Unless it's a fake beard, maybe. And really nice looking chainsaw. Really, really nice detail on this. Ultimately, the reason I decided to go for this one and not the Evil Clown one is because I don't really have a lot of terrain personally that would suit the clown aspect. So I kind of thought this might be a safer option for now. And I don't know, it's just build up slowly was my idea. So there we go. Another really nice set. It is a smaller set, this one. It is also one of the more cheaper sets as well. Finding that it was a one-piece mini was a nice surprise. That is actually a really nice surprise. And the pose still works. This is really nice. Like I've said before, I love this. It's just such a brilliant, unique concept. It's just really good. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.